Hello. As you're entering, just please make sure you are on mute and your video is off in case you would love to be on camera. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. I It's very humid in Texas here today, so I have to pin like all the big hair back. It's like 92% humidity. I went out yesterday morning and I curled my hair and everything. I don't even know why. And then I had to go to a field trip with my son outside, and it was just enormous. It was actually really funny. So I've just been pinning it back, but thank you. That's so kind. I'm just going to give people a few moments. I had several women sign up for this, so I'm really excited today. So I'll just give everybody a few minutes to join. Just give a couple more minutes. No, I saw some people trying to get in and then it disappeared. So hopefully there's not a problem. Okay, well, we're going to get started. I am sending out the replay. So anybody that is not with us, and I'll keep watching to see who else joins us. Okay, so for those of you that haven't attended one of my master classes before, my name is Lindsay. I'm a trained therapist and certified life coach for women. I really work with women who want to create an extraordinary life for themselves and who want to make an impact in the world. Um, they know that they are made to do something spectacular. They know that they have it in them, and they just are looking for the support and the tools to get there feeling good, right? Not feeling stressed out, not feeling overwhelmed, and faster. So it always helps to partner with somebody to accelerate your success. So that's what I do. In these master classes, I'm teaching mindset tools and concepts, strategies that are based in psychology, based in science, to help women do this, right? To help them kind of step into their future self, create the results that they want in their lives. Today, we're going to talk about what to do when you are either feeling stuck, right? So you are having a hard time taking action or getting motivated towards something that you want, or you are already taking action. You are doing all the things and you don't know why you aren't getting the results that you want. So the first place I'm going to start here is just to say that I get it. So I've been and currently am, like, I go back and forth between these two places, just like I think everybody does, right? I know what it feels like to be doing something that isn't fulfilling, to be experiencing life in a way that is, you know, that it's good, but it could be better. I also know what it means to take action on that, to make a change, to do something different, and then feel like I'm doing all the things and nothing is working. So I just want to start out by saying that that's totally normal. This class is going to help with that. And so I'm actually really excited about this class. If you've been with me before, some things are going to be familiar, but I've been thinking about this in a different way. So this is a bit new. So the first thing I want to talk about is, why do we feel stuck in the first place, right? Why is it that even when we think we want something really badly, why is it so difficult to take action towards it and to make things happen, right? And the best example that I have of this in my life is, like, I really wanted to leave my corporate job. I was in corporate over 13 years, maybe 15. And I would say almost that entire time I wanted to leave. And almost that entire time I knew that this was not the place for me. And it took me that long to leave. So I know what it feels like to really want something badly and to still not be able to take action on it. And what is happening here is that your brain, your primitive brain, as we call it in the coaching world, which is designed just to keep you safe, right, is always scanning the environment to find danger, seek out things that are efficient and easy, that bring pleasure, right? This is what it's doing, is stopping you, right? So it is constantly sending messages to you to keep you safe. And that means that anything new, anything that requires change, anything that requires effort is going to send a signal that it's wrong, that it's dangerous, that you should stop, that you should not do this. All of these things literally equal death to your primitive brain. And so doing anything new is going to trigger, like I said, a whole lot of negative thoughts and emotions, because what we think creates our feelings. And so when we get all of these signals from the primitive brain that we're in danger, that we should stop, that then sends signals to our body, which creates a vibration of what we perceive as a negative emotion of some kind. Could be fear, could be doubt, could be confusion, any of these things. I believe that the mistake we make here is not just believing those signals from the primitive brain. That's the first mistake. But I think the biggest mistake is personalizing it. So believing that it's actually who you are, that those messages that the primitive brain sends to be fearful, to doubt yourself, to get confused, all of those things, we personalize them. And you will hear yourself do this when you say things like, well, I'm just not a highly driven or motivated person, or I have a tough time sticking with my commitments, or I'm not good at learning new things. I have a hard time making decisions. All of these things, that's you personalizing the messages from the primitive brain. And if we do nothing else, I want to stop women from doing this, okay? The negative thoughts and feelings you have about your goals are not about you, right? Again, they're your primitive brain doing exactly what it should, right? It means that everything is actually functioning perfectly, okay? We're not going to be able to stop these thoughts or these feelings. They're just what make you human. So what we're going to be talking about in this class, and what you can do, is that you can make yourself so resilient, right, that you create mind-blowing results for yourself. You can make yourself resilient to these thoughts and feelings. And this is how we're going to do it. So one, obviously, we just want to accept that these thoughts and feelings are normal. They're not ours. We're not going to personalize them. We're not going to tell a story about them. We're just going to accept that they're there, and it means that our brain is doing exactly what it needs to do. The second part, and the biggest part to this, is being willing to feel them. So making the goal that you have for yourself more important than avoiding or resisting experiencing negative situations and feelings in our lives. So it's simply asking yourself, am I willing, in order to achieve whatever it is that you're looking to achieve, am I willing to feel fear, to feel self-doubt, to feel rejection, to feel humiliation? So that's the first place. Do you think you're willing? Because if you're not creating the results you want right now, or you're not taking action, you're not allowing yourself to feel these things. There is something that is saying they're dangerous and you don't want to do it. So acknowledge that that's normal. Know that the feelings that you feel in your body, that feeling rejection, feeling humiliation, is just a vibration. It's just a vibration in your body. It might create some heat, might create like nausea or tightness in your chest. You want to notice what these feelings are, but they are just vibrations. They do not equal death the way your brain perceives. Okay, so I'm going to get very specific with you on how to do this. But first, I want to say the place you start is to keep it simple, right? So most people make their dreams very complicated, right? You come up with something that sounds amazing. So you get excited about something. Maybe it's a new job you want to get, or a promotion. Maybe it's that you want to create your own business, or you want to travel the world, or you want to meet the love of your life. Whatever the extraordinary result is that you're looking for, you create that, and then your brain goes to work complicating it. Does this to keep you safe, right? It wants you to think that it's not possible. Okay, so you think you need to take 1,000 different steps, right? That you need to get more education, more skills, have more money, more free time, right? That you need to know somebody important to help you, navigate this. You need a PhD, you need certifications, all the things. It's going to complicate it. And I want you to keep it simple, because when we allow the brain to complicate it, it leads to dread, confusion, and overwhelm. And those three things will stop you in your tracks. They equal death. So it's actually really simple. Allow it to be simple, right? When you get down to it, you want to identify what it is you want and then continually take action towards it. And when I say action, yes, sometimes that will mean identifying an obstacle and then developing a strategy to overcome it. Obstacles, just like negative emotions, are not something we can get rid of. Everybody has obstacles, right? But they are something that you can create a strategy around. Okay, so that still is an action that you're going to take, and sometimes it will feel hard, but keep it simple. This is just an obstacle, and I can create a strategy. Okay, what makes it hard isn't the steps you need to take. It is the story that your brain is telling, right? That's what makes it hard. All the things that I just listed to you, right? It's like the brain telling you you need more time, more money, more education. The complication, that's what makes it hard, okay? There is nothing wrong with you. We don't need to fix anything. You don't need more of anything, okay? The only thing that's really standing between you and what you want is a feeling. That's it. And maybe 2 or 6, right? There could be several feelings that you don't want to experience that is stopping you, because everything else is just a strategy. It's simple. Okay. This part, the emotion part, and this is what I'm going to teach here in the next few minutes, is the difficult part. This is how everybody does extraordinary things. Everybody has obstacles. Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, they've all had obstacles. What they are willing to do is experience failure. rejection, hear the word no, have someone tell them that they're stupid, they're ridiculous, right? To try something and to fail and feel shame. They are all willing to do this over and over and over again in order to get the result that they want. Okay, so what this really is then is the key to getting whatever it is that you want is experiencing emotion. And for some people, there will be some positive emotions they don't want to experience, right? Especially women. It's uncomfortable for us to get compliments. It's uncomfortable for us to succeed. So you may need to practice that as well. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to increase your capacity for feeling. We're not going to focus on anything else. Okay, so identify the feelings that you believe you're trying to avoid. And there might be several, but like, let's pick the top 3. For me, my top 3 are, I really don't want to feel rejection. I do not like hearing the word no. Okay. I don't want to feel embarrassment, like somebody thinking, who does she think she is? She doesn't have enough X, Y, and Z. She's not been doing this very long, all of the things, right? Embarrassment. And the third is, I really don't want to feel shame. I don't want anyone to think that I'm doing something I shouldn't be or interpret my actions in a way that make me a bad person. So these are my top 3 feelings, okay? So identify what they are for you so you know what you're working with. The one hint I'll give here, and you may not need it, but if you need help identifying these feelings, they're probably related to fear. Okay. Unless they're a positive emotion that you really have a tough time experiencing, the biggest obstacles are going to be emotions related to fear of some kind. Okay. Then I would just want you to ask yourself, and I really want you to get honest. And if you need to do this with someone, reach out to a friend or a coach that you have, or reach out to me and we will walk through this process, because I want you to really ask yourself, are you willing to feel those top 3 negative emotions in order to get what you want? And sometimes the answer is going to be no. That's okay. It's better that you're just honest with yourself. And if you want to work towards changing that, you can. But right now, just be honest with yourself. Are you willing to practice hearing the word no? Are you willing to practice being embarrassed in order to get what you want? Okay. And then the biggest part is to teach your nervous system that you can experience these emotions and feel safe. Okay. And here is how we do this. I'm going to walk you through the steps. When one of these emotions come up, okay, I really want you to stop what you're doing, acknowledge the feeling, like notice that you're feeling the shame, the embarrassment, the rejection, whatever it is, okay? Just acknowledge it. And I want you to try to describe how it feels in your body. And you can do this in your head or out loud, whatever works for you. What physical symptoms are you experiencing? It's important to know this because this is how you can start to identify feelings. You can be like, oh, I'm feeling nauseous, tight in the chest, and hot in my cheeks. That's shame, right? Embarrassment might look slightly different. So you want to start to get very keen at knowing what the physical symptoms of your emotions are. So practice doing this, because emotions literally are just a vibration in your body. They're nothing more. So I want you to start to get to know those and know what they are. Once you feel the emotion and you can describe it, here is how I've been thinking about it differently. It's not just about noticing the emotion and feeling it and processing it. You need to neutralize that emotion. Okay. And what I mean by that is I want you to sit with the emotion and I want you to stay in your body. I don't want you to go to your head and start to run the story of that emotion. So if you're feeling embarrassed about something that happened, I want you to sit with the feeling of embarrassment and not tell the story that goes along with it. I just think this is the key. It's not just feeling it and processing it. It is neutralizing it. Don't go to your head and start to tell the story. Just allow the physical feeling the neutral, not good or bad, feeling of embarrassment in your body. Okay. This will help to process that emotion, right? And reduce the intensity of it because you are not telling the story that is attached to it. And I think this was the part I was missing, and that a lot of the women that I talk to and work with were missing, is the neutralizing of that story. Okay, neutralizing the emotion. The reason why we want to do this is because processing the emotion in a neutral way is what is starting to teach your nervous system that this emotion is actually safe. It is just another vibration that is happening in your body and that is going to pass, okay? The more you can practice feeling these uncomfortable emotions from a neutral place, the more you will be able to take action in a way that feels kind of risky or scary or outside of your comfort zone, right? Doing something new, because you will be teaching your nervous system that it is safe. You'll be teaching the primitive brain that these thoughts can happen. They will follow with an emotion, right? One of these negative emotions, and that you can experience them and stay safe, okay? I believe that if we can do this, like if we can start to teach ourselves that all emotions are safe, if we can neutralize them, not make them mean anything bad, right? Not tell the story about them over and over again in our head, just feel them, be willing to feel them, then this is how we are able to continually take action towards what we want. And that's the key, right? Is continual action. Because when you get stopped by an emotion, right, by a feeling you're experiencing in your body that you don't want to feel, when you allow that to stop you, you are essentially like putting the brakes on the results that you're going to get. Now, this doesn't mean that I want you to race through this process, right? It's important to take your time to process a negative emotion. And sometimes I've had negative emotions, especially shame, will linger for me for a few days. And during that time, I am just doing a lot of feeling and a lot of focus on my body and processing the emotion and trying and like staying out of my head and neutralizing the story. Because as soon as I get back to telling the story, I intensify that emotion and then it takes longer to process. So yes, some of these feelings are going to start out where you may need 2 or 3 days to fully process them. And that doesn't mean you can't be taking any action in there. You can, but you may be wanting to focus more on processing the emotion and just living with it. And that's okay. But what the difference between that is that's moving that feeling through your body. You're teaching your nervous system, you're getting a result from that. Whereas when we shut down or when we resist or avoid feeling things, we end up doing what I call buffering, which is doing something, I'm not even going to say unimportant, taking action in a way that keeps you from feeling a negative emotion. So I'll give you an example. It's like maybe you are going to do a masterclass like this, right? I've done this before. And it was my first one and I was really nervous and I really didn't want to think about it. And I didn't want to, start to write it. I didn't want to, just all the things I didn't want to do around it. And so what my brain would do in order to not feel those negative emotions would be like, oh, your desk really needs to be organized. And be like, yes, before we start the masterclass writing or any planning, we must have an organized, clean desk. That's an example of buffering. You still may be doing something that's useful, right? Or that's good, or, it doesn't have to be just lying on the couch and watching Netflix. But just be careful, watch out for that. Notice when you're going to shift into doing something in order to relieve an emotion. This slows you down. so much more than taking 3 days to process, because what happens is the emotion just lingers and you continually buffer. The emotion comes back up and then you buffer, and the emotion is gone for a while and then it comes back up and then you buffer. And all the while buffering, even though you might not be doing non-productive actions, they aren't actions that are supporting your goal, right? You may be cleaning your house or cooking dinner or going for a walk or doing whatever it is, but they aren't actions that are supporting the goal, because those actions are the ones that your brain is trying to stop you from doing because it feels uncomfortable. So it will just take you way longer to achieve your goal if you don't just sit and allow these feelings to process without telling the story. Remember, that's the key here, is we want to neutralize the emotion. We want to stay out of our story while we allow it to process through our body. So let's just summarize for a moment, and then I'm just going to spend, I know I just have about 4 minutes here. I'm just going to spend the last couple minutes just sharing something exciting with you guys. Everything that you are going to come up against as you are trying to achieve whatever extraordinary thing it is you want to achieve, the majority of things are not a problem. They're just a strategy. So every time you come up against something that feels like an obstacle, I want you to ask yourself, is this an emotion that I don't want to feel? Or is this just a strategy that I need to create, right? Do I need to hire an expert, reach out to an expert, get some support, right? How do I overcome this obstacle? Or am I just trying to avoid, is there a feeling here that I don't want to feel? Okay. If it's an obstacle, you're going to create the strategy. I want you to just kind of acknowledge that your brain is trying to stop you, but say, I'm good. I don't need to be stopped here. There's no emotion to process. I just need to develop a strategy, and I want you to move forward with that. If there is a feeling, I want you to acknowledge it. I want you to name it. Try to describe how it physically feels in your body, and then sit with it and allow it and stay in your body. Just stay right in the feeling. Don't tell the story. Don't go there. Again, that will intensify the emotion again. It will take longer to process. And then just stay with your body as long as you need to process that emotion. It will teach your nervous system and your primitive brain that that emotion is safe, okay? Allowing you to take action, allowing you to move forward, even when it's something you've never done before, okay? If you have any questions about this as you go along, please reach out to me. I am always available. So you can do that through email, which you all have now because I sent you the link to this Zoom, and I will respond, and we can hop on a call and I can walk through and process an emotion with you. I also want to invite all of you to book a consult call with me. Okay, on this call, we will identify what your obstacles are. We will identify what the emotions are that you don't want to experience, okay? And we will create the plan. I will help you create the plan on that consult call for how we're going to move past them, right? How you're going to start taking action today on what it is you want to achieve. Even if at the end of that call, you decide not to work with me, it will be one of the best investments of time that we both have made. Okay, so I promise that to you. 2, if you do decide to work with me, my rates are going up in January. And so anybody that signs between now and December will lock in my 2023 rates, and we'll get Voxer support in between their sessions. If you don't know what Voxer is, it's basically like a walkie-talkie app. You can text in there, but you can go in there and you can just send me voice messages in between your sessions about things you're struggling with, and I will coach you through Voxer in between your sessions. That is what I have for you today. I'm so grateful for everybody that signed up. I have so many new people on this masterclass that it floors me, and I'm so happy to have you guys here. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. please book a consult call and let's get you started. Or if you're already started, let's keep you moving. I love you all. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining, and I will see you again soon.